The first ever Dream Appalachia Poverty Conference is over. More about the problems and progress discussed in Inez today. And the University of Kentucky is getting ready to acquire a hospital in Moorhead. More about those plans just ahead.
Plus, we are ending April on a warm note. Your first alert forecast coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The first poverty conference was hosted in Martin County today, sharing plans and programs that are in place to help the region thrive. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more from the inaugural event.
It just simply must become the urgent business of all men and women of every race and every religion and every region.
A battle that began 60 years ago.
We have declared unconditional war on poverty.
Is being celebrated and continued by Dream Appalachia.
And that I truly believe that the future of Eastern Kentucky is in the hands of those who are Eastern Kentuckians.
The first event like this actually occurred 10 years ago, back in 2014 when I was a college student. And they encouraged young people from this community like me to dream for our future. And I actually looked back on what my dream for the future was, and it inspired me to do what I'm doing today.
The Poverty Conference brought voices from around the region to Inez Friday, discussing problems and progress.
Any type of discussion like this is valuable because you don't always see the full picture of what's going on.
The inaugural event included sessions devoted to education, housing, recovery, and more.
If it's for housing or what, economic development or whatever it is, I think it's good for us to get together, not just to talk about, but then to go leave here and do things too.
Hearing about the steps the region still needs to take decades after President Lyndon Johnson's war on poverty began, while highlighting the programs and people who have already pushed the region forward.
There is a lot of hope and a lot of opportunity in the next 10, 15, 20 years here in Eastern Kentucky.
With a conference all about connecting the pieces.
When you're seeing a lot of people come together, forget county lines, think in a very collaborative way.
Building a pipeline from poverty to prosperity. In Martin County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Organizers say the event was a success, sparking conversations and putting poverty and progress in the spotlight. Another conference has also wrapped up in Corbin, with folks taking what was discussed in hopes of implementing change. WYMT's RJ Johnson has more from day 2 of the East Kentucky Leadership Conference.
The 36th annual East Kentucky Leadership Conference has come to a close with several discussions about what's next for the region.
We're able to bring together leaders from all over Eastern Kentucky to have a conversation about the challenges we're facing and the answers that we're finding, and to share those ideas with each other and also help people understand about some of the resources that are available to move this important work forward.
Peter Hilley serves as the board chair for the East Kentucky Leadership Foundation. He says with several communities embodying the spirit of being a comeback community, they are starting to see change.
Over the last 10 years or so, we have begun to see the downtowns in many of our communities filling back up with new businesses. Then people began to think differently about their community, and what we really need to do is help communities recreate themselves as places where people can live and will choose to live. Because when people come back to our communities, then they'll often bring their jobs with them, and we can build a brighter future together.
Terry Gray with One Clay County says it is important to put everything on the table to move forward.
Don't be afraid to dream big, but dream out loud. Because when you dream out loud, you get potential partners, you get potential investors.
With hopes of improving the future of Eastern Kentucky.
Sharing those ideas, what's working for other communities, how can we incorporate those ideas into our communities? And so you see a lot of regionalism, folks, counties, cities starting to work together, and I think that's going to be the key for the future moving forward.
In Corbin, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
And Hilley announced next year's conference will be held in Manchester.
We are tracking some wet weather on this Friday evening, but notice on the radar the coverage is beginning to dwindle as we go into late Friday night. A small chance of a few more showers by late tonight, but most of us are beginning to dry out as we go into the overnight hours. But right now, though, a few more showers close to Clay County, pushing into Jackson County, also for Lee and Owsley counties. And same story for southeast Kentucky, pushing into southwest Virginia, for parts of Harlan, also Letcher counties, into Lee and Wise counties in Virginia, and a few more light sprinkles close to downtown Pikeville at this hour as well. A live look across the region. We are more cloudy today thanks to this weather system. Also cooler on this Friday. Most of us right now in the middle to lower 60s. We see some more 60s as we go into this evening, but notice we are drying out a little bit as we go into tonight. A small chance of a few more showers tonight, but the bulk of the action begins to fade away as we go into this evening. The big story tomorrow, we are warmer, highs back in the 80s by tomorrow and on Sunday. Your full weekend forecast on the way in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thanks. A Knoxville, Tennessee murder suspect is behind bars after police in Corbin say they found him under the influence. Officers responded to a call about a vehicle in a ditch yesterday. That's where they found 49-year-old Michael Merrick. Police later discovered Merrick was a suspect in a murder case. He was taken to the Whitley County Detention Center. A death investigation is underway in Logan County, West Virginia. The sheriff says a man's body was found this morning in a field. The sheriff told our sister station in Huntington the man was shot in the chest near Mud Fork Road in the Mount Gay area, about a mile outside of Logan. The man's name has not been released. A Laurel County man is dead after a stabbing in Leslie County. Police say they received a call on Wednesday about the stabbing complaint from the Leslie County Emergency Operations Center. The initial investigation indicates 43-year-old Rodney Bowling was involved in an altercation on Oakley Cave Road that led to him being stabbed. He was later pronounced dead by the Leslie County Coroner's Office. His body was taken to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy. Police have not said if they have any suspects. Multiple departments came together to host a mock disaster response for graduating nurses. It was held at Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College in Harlan. Even though the event was scheduled for students, it also gave emergency officials the chance to improve their skills as well.
For the nursing program, it's for our second-year students who are getting ready to graduate in May to highlight their skills that they've learned throughout the program. The other purpose to serve is to show our support within the community. We have many community partners that we've partnered with, and we wanted to highlight our minors because a lot of the times we feel like they're overlooked. And so we wanted to highlight them, the hardships that they face, and know that we're here for them if a disaster of that magnitude does happen.
Officials say this is the first mock disaster there since the pandemic. UK is acquiring St. Clair Medical Center in Moorhead. The Board of Trustees approved the long-term partnership today. UK President Eli Capilouto and St. Clair Healthcare CEO and President Donald Lloyd were there signing a plan into action for the acquisition. Lloyd says with more specialties comes more educational opportunities for students at Moorhead State and UK. Officials confirm current St. Clair employees will not be affected by this transition. The Kentucky Educational Development Corporation held a teacher recruitment showcase today. School leaders say the teacher turnover has been a challenge for them, and doing events like this will help them not only get their name out there, but also get off to a good start for the next school year. District leaders say they are looking for people who care about kids and the success of future generations.
There may be a student that no one else can really build that relationship with, but when they find that one person, it truly can change their life, and that's what we're all about.
With the success of this showcase, officials with the KEDC say they plan on having another one maybe sometime in the summer. You can find more about this on our website at WYMT.com.
We are tracking a few more showers this evening, but a mainly dry weekend is on the way. Your forecast coming up. Plus,
we will conclude our East Kentucky Leadership Award winner profiles with a man trying to preserve Black history in Laurel County.